first carry for the rookie Nick Chubb. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now it's Jackson, flushed out right. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Jackson to throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Jackson. Dancing to his left. Fighting through pressure, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Terrell McClain in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Ryan. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man. Complete. That one goes for 36 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. About 3 yards there to the 27.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Ryan. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. From the gun, it's Ryan. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Terrence Mitchell. And the return will stop right around the 25. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued. Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone. You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful. Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Jackson. Throwing again. He's going to wind up and air it out. And got his man complete. So with a big gainer anyways, he'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call. They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down at the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On second down, Jackson. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice. On third down, Jackson. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That guarantees you. This is caught inside the 15. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. They give him a gain of 37. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Here's Coleman on the toss. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. It's Coleman here. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal.
12, 20.
Now it's Ryan. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Fighting his way through contact. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. He got 29 yards that time.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Uncorks one for Davis. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Jackson. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Deion Jones. Able to drop him for a loss of a couple. To throw on 3rd down. Jackson. And he finds Corey Davis. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed. First down carry here for Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football, Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty. From the gun, it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction.
Here we go. Over. Green, 39. Green.
Jackson from the shotgun. Steps away to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon, and think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
So out come the Falcons now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Gun.
Right back to him on first down. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
22.
Now Ryan on second down. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
21. Hey, Tuesday. 39.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. As his guys are in for 6, and the Falcons are in for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Got an open man, it's Radley. He finds an opening past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now Jackson on second down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's Jackson to throw on second down. They still can't get it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw is Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this.
Hey, South! 54, South! Hey, South!
This time Ryan will throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
This time, Jackson will throw it, rolling to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Damian Ratley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And his kick is right through. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. And the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Hey, Tuesday. Hey, express. Let's go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards. Now Ryan on first down. On the screen, this is Coleman. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A very solid gain of 27. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. They'll run him now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On second down, here's Ryan. Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Falcons have broken our tie. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. The Browns try to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And the Falcons going to use another timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now Jackson from the gun. He'll throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Take it at the 37. We have hit half. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Looking to throw on second down. Ryan, throw right side, caught by Ridley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time, and a fresh set of downs.
39. 21. Left. 21.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
54, south.
They will run again with Coleman. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
20.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. He's going to look deep down the field. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
All right, now look at 56.
Jackson now. Going to throw again. Uncorks one for Davis. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Jackson. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it a second down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Jackson looking to throw on second down. Buying time to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Jackson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing is Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. The Browns on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Jackson. Trying to improvise. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Jackson now. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Handoff comes to Chubb. Inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. To throw is Jackson, operating from the gun. Now he's forced out right, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? He may try and run for this. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Sliding out of the pocket. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Coleman now. And some space here. The 40. The 20. 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Now Jackson on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Gun!
Operating from the gun, Jackson dancing to his left. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Browns on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Hey, we got 3. We got 3. 3 down.
From the gun, Jackson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Grady Jarrett in there again as this offensive line is in tatters. 3 sacks in 3 plays. Fielded at the 20. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Gun. 21. 39. Go. 25 seconds to go.
They'll toss it to Coleman. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Falcons add on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Returnable here for Davis. And some room to maneuver. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. In for the score. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you want. Stay with who you know. And go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here's Coleman. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Throwing middle, and it's complete. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
22!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
21! Hey, it's fast!
Right back to him on first down. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they won't run a play here, no victory formation. They will indeed try to get 3 more. He made his first attempt, this from 45. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Atlanta, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll get a late bye next week, which might be coming at the right time. And they'll be back in action in Week 12. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.